insurrectionists. All right, so everybody have the this one in front of you, because this is the one we're going to be using now. Everybody on their in your groups, you're going to have these. Okay, the reason you're in groups is because as a group, that's where you're going to work. When you have a question, you ask your group members. You don't ask another group. You ask your group members first. If you can't figure it out, then who do you ask next? That's right. Myself, Mr. Wilson, or Ms. Daniels. So you ask within the group, you got it? And then you ask a teacher, or then you ask one of us. Is that clear?
Yes.
That's why you're in groups, to kind of facilitate this. All right. What we're going to do, if you'll pick this up to kind of hold as an example, we're going to examine Islam by kind of going through these placards. Does anybody have a placard they want to deal with first? Does anybody have one like, oh, this is hard, I don't want to do it? You raise your hand first, so hand me whichever one y'all have. Hand me both of them. Alright, so if you will go to the question that says placard 8, we're going to start with, yes ma'am. You're supposed to have two. This is a placard. You can call this the thing in the folder, but the placard is what we'll call it. If you'll go to placard 8, that's the one we're going to talk about it. We're going to work through it right now, so I suggest you pay attention.
It's a front and back sheet, so just flip it over if you're not on the side that has 8.
Luke, I have 8 here. I'm showing you how to do it, and I'm going to show it to you on the board. No, they volunteered in the back.
You'll need those in a second. He's showing you how to do one so that you'll know how to do the rest of it.
All right, so if everybody will flip to, so I've got 8, and this is pretending like, oh, my group, we're going to have, it's pretending like all you have placard 8 now. I've got them right here. On your answer sheet, flip to the back where it says placard 8 question. The first thing you should do on every one is write what's under here. So it'll be in like super bold, super big print. So with this one, you'll want to write Islam splits, and that's Shia, you can pronounce it Shia, Shiite, Shia, doesn't matter. But you want to write Islam splits, and then the Shiite or Shia. So you want to have that. You want to write that in that long line that's out to the, I don't know, to the right of where it says placard 8 questions. It's right there. Right here. So the first thing you want to do on every placard, the very first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you write down, match the number up, and then write down what the title is. Very first thing, the title will be super obvious. Might be a little bit long in some cases, but that's on purpose. In some cases, I want to give you a lot of information in the title. All right, so that's step 1. Then
Don't
what you
say
want
the name anymore here.
Then what you want to do, this is the only one that has text, so y'all are lucky. You get to look at pictures and read the bottom. You're going to have text. And there's going to be a statement below it, and then there's going to be questions. So that first question on placard 8, it says, what do the headlines say about the divide between Sunnis and Shiites today? So you have all these headlines, and what are they talking about there? Kind of, what's the summary of what those headlines deal with? Well, what about the split? I mean, are these guys going out for picnics? What are they doing?
They don't like each other.
Yeah, they're killing each other.
Oh.
So what does this say about this split today, that you have these groups killing each other today? I mean, in simple terms. I mean, to this very day, are they friends?
No.
There you go. So you want to write something in there.
So we say they're not friends no more?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Please don't put M-O-E, but yes, friends no more. Yes, I'm fine with it. They are not friends anymore.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'm not gonna write like that on my face. They are not friends anymore.
Now, what you'll also have on each placard, you also have a statement. Some cases, a lot of your information will be from here. I keep ticking back up. And I'll read the statement out here. This kind of gives more information, but that one is easy enough from the information. It says, after Muhammad died, many believe that Ali, Muhammad's cousin and son-in-law, should be caliph, and that his and Muhammad's daughter Fatima's descendants would lead Islam. Those that supported Ali and his descendants are known as Shia Muslims and believe that only descendants of Muhammad can be caliph. In some cases, the question is going to be, you're going to have to read this to answer it. So what you should do is look at the picture, read the statement, and then turn to the question. The second question, it says, what bonds does Sunni and Shia Muslims still have? This is kind of a thank question. What bond do they have, though?
They family of Islam.
Yeah, they're all Muslim. Yeah, they're Islamic. They believe in Allah. I mean, there's just, even though they're fighting each other.
Yeah, different views.
Yeah, that's different views about what relationship kind of Allah has with the state now is very different. But ALLAH.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, which means what does Allah Akbar mean?
Wait, is that?
That's what them terrorists were saying before they like killed somebody.
Ali is a guy. That's a person. Ali is a guy. Alright, so does everybody understand what you're supposed to do? The first thing you should do is what? Write that down. Write that down on your answer sheet. Second thing, look at the picture, maybe read the statement, then get into the questions. That's the easiest way to do this. The first time we do it, I'm going to give you 4 minutes. Next time, I'm going to give you 3 minutes, and eventually we'll get rolling. What I want you to know, everybody look at your group number. When we pass placards, it will, if you took your group number off, your group 2, make sure when you pass placards, you pass it like whatever way I tell you. So group 1 should go to group 2, so we can keep it in order. Does that make sense? Yes, or groups 5, 7, only to group 2. Alright, so what we're going to do now is in your groups, I'll give y'all another one. If you work on the one you have, I'll give you 4 minutes. You'll look at the picture, read the statement, answer the questions, give you 4 minutes. If you have any questions, who do you ask first?
Your
group members.
Group members. Then you ask.
And then you ask teachers.
Then you ask. And then if you can't figure it out, you pray to whatever God you pray to.
I pray to Jesus, Buddha, and based God.
Everybody listen, throughout the rest of them, it's 3 minutes. So, I mean, that's looking at the picture, that's reading the statement, and that's answering the question. It's going to be rapid fire. 3 minutes, and as soon as you're done, we'll kind of bring it back together, and we'll get started. All right, so 3 minutes. If you have questions, let me know. Yes. It will shock you if you think, do you not know?
That's funny.
Yeah, well, I guess like the first one, if you answer it, I can't figure it out. The second one kind of gives you some hints about what that is, if that makes sense.
Me too.
Canada and
But there's enough. Okay, but there's enough information with there.
not Canada.
What color is that? Okay, well, okay. If it's purple or whatever, what color is it? Is it the same color? That's the idea. That makes sense.
Church went there to.
Oh, so even
Texas. It's overseas, but still technically a part of the country. What'd you say? Georgia. How's that disgusting? Because they have like
No, that's my brother's station.
food movements and meal welfare streams. Who sprinkling like almost every SEC rights.
Okay, I mean, I put y'all in the same group once I saw it, and I was like, oh no, no. Can I call you two? Jump up and down.
I respect that.
Tell me copy of somebody wants to back the last. Alright, so page 304 is the beginning, just, I would say just
304.
there's some one in the middle of the page.
Back bond.
304 through,
It's a cool word though.
You go to West Georgia? Is it good?
I don't know, I get it.
through 308. Just have an outline of the section.
Oh, what, are you trying to read your word? Oh, don't, with this one, you only have to worry about, we're all
Okay, this is it.
with all the specific ones, you don't gotta worry about that, you'll get one you guys.
Okay, you want to be teamwork, then I have the questions. I found the first one. You two find the second one.
Oh my, the timer died.
And then that'll be teamwork.
Who killed my timer? Look, it's like, oh, wow, group report. Yes.
You'll smack the battery off. It'll shape up if you whip it.
Alright, go ahead and pass it, so you, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. Y'all need 10, there you go. 10. It's alright. Trust me, everybody will. Y'all got one? No, there you go. Y'all got a new one?
Hey, Mr. Eubanks, I have a question about this one.
Yes.
Didn't when Muhammad the angel kind of talked to him, doesn't say in the Quran that someone had to convince him that it was an angel?
No, several times he has to be convinced that he's the not really, it's really that he had to be convinced that he was the last prophet. That's what he had to be convinced about. Yeah. And also there were writings written later called the Hadith, where people had poems about him, and that was another thing that they would write one thing and they said, no, this isn't right, and they changed it again. He had to be convinced that he was really the last prophet. Yeah. Alright, does everybody have the next one they should have? Oh, yeah, everybody listen up real quick. There's the one that has the 5 pillars. Don't worry about all the little text on there. You'll get enough information from the top of the pillars. Does that make sense? Alright, it's that little text. Alright, 3 minutes, or 2 minutes and 40 seconds now. Remember, if you have questions, ask them, so we're not wandering around.
But just do this here. You two try to find the second one. I'll try to find the first one. I will come back to that.
Yes. Work on it. That muscle milk in here. Yeah, this one's kind of a thing. So it's almost like if the Muslims would have won this battle, you just have to kind of think what would happen. I think there's 2 questions like this that kind of your opinion.
That's right.
You do that right. The last one we had. The last one we had
Do you wanna?
wasn't 6, was it? It was supposed to be.
Think about like the Mongols. What were they really good at? But why were they specifically good at that? What would you say? Yeah, and what does that help with? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're used to sitting in one place planting your corn, you're not going to be like, oh, let's move over here. But if you're used to moving, it becomes, in theory, easier to move. Does that make sense?
He told you before. I didn't understand.
Just whatever you think, kind of like would help them move. Oh, it's just desert. I mean, what's a desert going to do? I mean, that's